Good morning and welcome to Adventureland. This is my very first time at this park. We are in Iowa near Des Moines, and this is a park that has just eluded me for so long. This park has a really neat lineup of rides. It is headlined by Monster, a Gerstlauer Infinity coaster that I have been dying to get on for the better part of a decade. But I'm very excited. Something interesting, you can tell that this is a park that took some level of inspiration from a certain mouse-focused amusement park with the grand entrance and the train station above it. It's very Disneyland-y, but it works here. Anyway, let's go check out Adventureland. Okay, Monster. Wow. This is what it's like for a small park to have an incredibly good standout ride. This is a Gerstlauer Infinity coaster. I think it's the first I've been on. I think up till now, most of my experience with Gerstlauer has been Eurofighters. This was built in 2016, but it runs like it was built this year. It is glass smooth. Those Infinity trains with those lap bars and how open everything is really lends itself well to such a dynamic layout. Speaking of which, this thing has a really good layout. The first drop, obviously being beyond vertical, gives you plenty of airtime, but so many elements here give crazy whip, some airtime, and so much hang time. This ride really has a good variety in the layout. Also, operations on the Monster, amazing. The crew is killing it. They're sending train after train. Great time, great coaster. I can't wait to get back on it. All right, that was Dragon Slayer, an S&S free spin. Normally I'd say if you've done one of these, you've done them all, but Dragon Slayer is different. I don't know if they put more magnetic booster fins on this thing or what, but it is flipping. Now you do have the choice between two sides, Knight or Squire, Knight being the more intense, Squire being the less intense, and the idea there is that the Squire side does have a couple less of those magnetic fins, but we rode both, and honestly the Squire side flipped more than the Knight. So I think there's just multiple variables, and those fins are just a small piece. Things like weight and rotation and all those things play into it a lot more. It was fun. Those things are always smooth. Just make sure you know how to brace for that rotation, because it is crazy and it can start slamming your head around. But okay, humongous spoilers ahead. With the underground, most of the magic of this ride comes from not knowing what's gonna happen. So honestly, if you plan on getting to Adventureland anytime in the near future, I would just skip. I would just skip to...
Now, one time this year Underground.
Goodbye.
This is pretty much just an old school dark ride, but it's not like cheaply done. There are old school, kind of janky animatronics in here. There's different scenes, there's some lights and scares. But the part that makes this so funny to me is that it would be a pretty standard dark ride, except for the fact that it's a wooden roller coaster. It just never really goes down a real drop. It kind of goes up and then meanders down. They just chose a wooden coaster to be the ride vehicle for this. I don't know why, but it gives it so much more character. Definitely ride in the front if you're trying to get the most out of those scares and those moments. By the time the back of the train gets to some of the scenes, they've already played out a little bit. But what a fun, quirky ride. Oh my goodness. Okay, Flying Viking and Draken Falls. These were both new for 2023. And as you could see from the footage, and you can even see here, these two attractions are kind of combined into one plot, one area. It's almost like they're one attraction. Flying Viking is a Zamperla family coaster. I love seeing rides like this, newer Zamperla or Vekoma family coasters, because a lot of parks have good kiddie and family coasters, but they're old and they don't get replaced. So a lot of kids' first introductions can be like really janky old school rides. I love having something a little more modern here. I'm not really going to critique the ride itself. I'm not the target demographic here. But as far as a kid's coaster goes, that's awesome. It is glass smooth. It doesn't have any real drops, so it's a good way to ease kids into a coaster that goes a bit faster than your typical, like, wacky worm size coaster will, without needing them to experience a full-on drop. So now, Draken Falls, also manufactured by Zamperla, as you would imagine. They sold this as a package. Honestly, really fun. Clearly, I enjoy water rides that incorporate, theming and a narrative throughout. That's not this. This lands somewhere between like a log flume and a shoot the chutes. A lot of log flumes, you don't get terribly wet. You get wet here, but it's not as simple as a shoot the chutes that just goes up and down. This takes its time and it has multiple drops. So good time, just expect to get soaked. Phoenix is an awesome little Mauer spinner. I think this is my first Mauer spinner. The others I've been on are either Gerstlauers or Zamperlas, or really good. I had no idea this opened in 2019, so it's a lot newer than I thought it was. But incredibly smooth ride, and for being only 50 feet tall, this thing packs a kick. The seating on these Mauers, where you're on the inside of the car instead of Gerstlauers where you're outside facing each other, it works really well for some of these tight transitions because you just feel like you're at the very center of these really tight radiuses. Great ride, super recommend. Outlaw was a lot of fun. This is a CCI. This was actually Custom Coasters International's second roller coaster they ever built. It was built in the 90s. And I mean, it's only 67 feet tall, but it's running pretty smoothly. It has really good maneuvering and a balance of elements that go up a bit, as well as keeping that speed down low to the ground. You're not really gonna find much airtime here. If anything, just the slightest floater pops in and out of a couple of those turns. But it's running really well, and Outlaw was a good time. Okay, Sawmill Splash. Sawmill Splash is a kooky little ride. I've seen these before and I've never done one. It's sort of like between a rapids ride and a dinghy slide. You don't get too wet, but for some reason on those turns at the top of the structure, you really get spinning. But that was fun. It's kind of a unique twist on a water ride. I like these sort of rides that kind of cross the line between like a water park ride and an amusement park ride. Just did a ride on Tornado. That is a 1978 wooden coaster. It was manufactured by Frontier Construction Company, but it was designed by William Cobb. And he designed several notable wooden coasters from the 70s and 80s, including Great American Scream Machine, Screamin' Eagle, Texas Cyclone, and this, Tornado. Now, all of that being said, the actual ride itself, it's there. It's not a bad ride. It is just about as forceless can get. This makes Outlaw look like a modern day GCI. This thing is just very slow and meandering in the way it takes its layout. It's not running horribly rough. There's a constant vibration, but it's not like shaking you to pieces. I'm actually pretty surprised at how Adventureland's Woodies are running. Straight out of nowhere. Hey! That is going to do it for my day here at Adventureland. I did not know what to expect coming into this park. I knew about Monster, and that's about it. Like I said earlier about Monster, this is a small park done right. The lineup of rides here is great. I honestly can't imagine being here before Monster was. I know they had a Hopkins Looper back in the day, but without Monster, the lineup would feel a little bit flat. But Monster is that standout coaster, and the supporting lineup is great as well. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, consider liking it. If you want to see more roller coaster content like this coming real soon, consider subscribing. My name's John. You've been watching Mid-Course Discourse, and I'll see you next time.